The last. Put down that remote and stay a while. We have Roman Reigns.
Hello and welcome to episode number 280 of WITM, in which Dalton Roush will be in action, taking on Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and Dolph Ziggler in a fatal four-way matchup. But before that, Titus O'Neil was actually no longer part of SmackDown Live. He has since been demoted down to NXT, has just been given some time in a SmackDown Live ring in order to address his attack of Andrew on 205 Live when Andrew's making his way to the ring for his match with Arya Daivari, when Titus O'Neil attacked him with a steel chair. Andrew was able to successfully fend off Titus O'Neil, but now Titus is in the ring, microphone in hand, to address his reasons for that attack. Let's hear what he has to say.
Millions of dollars. Make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million move, make it move, make it move, make it $1 million. Now everybody move, now everybody move.
Titus O'Neil speaks. Now I realize that I am no longer part of SmackDown Live. However, I asked for some time to speak to the SmackDown locker room in the WWE Universe tonight. See, when I was part of SmackDown Live, I got lost in the shuffle. So, as a veteran talent, I had a tough decision to make. Do I do what some others have done and leave the WWE and try to resurrect my career elsewhere? Do I just sit back and be content to earn a steady paycheck? Or do I just cross my fingers and hope an opportunity will come my way? I just couldn't decide. But then I went on to the WWE Network, and I tuned into NXT and 205 Live. And what I saw was a man who sacrificed 2 Universal Championships and a prominent spot on Raw in order to help build up the future of the WWE. And in watching that man, Andrew, my future became clear. I figured, why not see if I can't use my experience as a veteran to take some young superstars who have potential, but have too been lost in the shuffle, and take them under my wing. And so I took Apollo Crews under my wing and formed the Titus brand with him on SmackDown Live. And then I turned to 205 Live and saved Akira Tozawa from the bad influence of Brian Kendrick and added him to the brand. And the Titus brand became Titus Worldwide. Under my guidance, Akira Tozawa quickly rose up the Cruiserweight rankings and became the number 1 contender to the Cruiserweight Championship. And then, Tozawa got his biggest opportunity yet. A chance to face the very inspiration for Titus Worldwide, Andrew himself. Now, Tozawa started to struggle a bit, and knowing how big this match was for him, I couldn't help but act. So I slid a chair into the ring, and then distracted the referee while Tozawa used it. Now I admit, what I did was wrong, and I apologize and own up to it. Tozawa ended up winning the match, and I knew that Andrew would be upset with me. I fully accepted to receive a small fine, or maybe a suspension. But what Andrew did was shocking. Not only did he ban me from ringside for all of Tozawa's matches, but he also forced me to be his personal assistant, or perhaps the more accurate term, slave, while humiliating myself by wearing a women's dress. What I did was wrong, but Andrew's method of punishment was over the line, humiliating, and uncalled for. Not only that, but a man who claims he cares so much about the future of the WWE ruined Tozawa's title hopes, destroyed Titus Worldwide, and now the careers of Apollo Crews and myself have been derailed, as we have been sent to NXT, where we have yet to be used. As if that wasn't bad enough, when I confronted 205 Live's new general manager, Triple H, about Andrew's inappropriate actions, he laughed in my face and told me to quit contacting him about the matter. And so, men and women of SmackDown Live, I urge you. 205 Live is run by a man who turns a blind eye to abuse of power, and the man who tortured me for over a month and ruined 3 men's WWE careers is exalted as its champion. But SmackDown Live, you have the power to do something about it. See, Raw likes to claim the Cruiserweight division as its own, but it is SmackDown Live that must share its locker room with the Cruiserweights. Without SmackDown Live's audience and arena, 205 Live would cease to exist. And so, men and women of SmackDown Live, demand justice. Go to Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan and tell them that you refuse to share an arena and locker room with men like Triple H and Andrew. Stand and rise against abuse of power and do what is right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it? Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on your bets, here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown. Puerto Rican testosterone. Power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you, Poppy. I know you're mad because you can't stop me. And if you wonder how this player done scooped your honey, I think she smell my cologne, it's called brand new money. Making major moves, man, ain't a damn thing funny. Pimpin' hood rats to Playboy bunnies. They see the... They see it, they see it.
SmackDown COO Shane McMahon has entered the ring and addresses Titus's remarks. Titus, there is not going to be a resistance or rebellion under my watch. The only way 205 Live is going anywhere is if my father gives the word. Now, I admit, what Andrew did was a bit over the line, but trust me, that is nothing compared to some of the things my father and other authority figures have done to punish superstars in the past. If you don't believe me, do some research on the WWE Network. Now, this whole situation has gotten out of hand. Brock Lesnar attacked 2 cruiserweights on Raw. You are trying to incite SmackDown Live to protest and rebel, and the cruiserweights feel unsafe to share a locker room with Raw or SmackDown. So, I'm going to have a discussion with Raw General Manager Kurt Angle and 205 Live General Manager Triple H. And together, we are going to find a safe, sanctioned way to resolve this matter in a way that serves the best interest of all 3 brands. And in the meantime, I suggest you turn your attention back to your own brand, NXT. Because with an attitude like that, and more finger pointing like I see too often around here, I'm betting that if things keep going this way, we won't be seeing much of Titus Worldwide on SmackDown Live anytime soon.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it? Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on your bets. Here's
Hope
where
the
the
next
buck
match lives
stops.
up to
See,
the hype
first
of the
of all,
rest
I'm
of the
stepping
card.
out on
This
my
is all
own.
the
About
makings of
time
a
I
legendary
elevated to
night.
claim my own
We have
throne.
Roman Reigns
Success in my
in a match
blood.
against
Call it
three of
homegrown.
WWE's finest.
So now SmackDown Live getting involved in the frustration between Raw and 205 Live. Now Titus O'Neil, who's part of NXT, but formerly part of SmackDown Live, saying because of Andrew forcing him to dress up in a dress and serve Andrew his personal assistant, and because of Triple H not punishing Andrew or forcing Andrew to stop the punishment, that SmackDown Live should rebel and demand that 205 Live no longer airs following SmackDown Live and no longer shares a locker room with the SmackDown Live roster. Shane McMahon says there will be no rebellion. Enough is enough. All three brands have had parts in this, and it's time that we resolve this conflict in a safe and sanctioned way. And so Shane McMahon will meet with the Raw General Manager Kurt Angle and 205 Live General Manager Triple H to find a safe, sanctioned way that will serve the best interests of all three brands. It'll be interesting to find out what that is. Stay tuned. But for now, we have in-ring action on SmackDown Live as Dalton Roush takes on former WWE Champion Roman Reigns and two other men he's formed somewhat of a rivalry with, Sami Zayn and Dolph Ziggler. Let's get our episode 280 in-ring action underway.
We have some fatal four-way action coming up. We have Roman Reigns taking on three of the toughest competitors the WWE has to offer.
I'm going to tell you, it's tough to pick a winner in these two teams.
Red alert, John, shine a light down. On the front lines of my mind now. Riding my time on the high ground. Blinded, but I'm still alive, shout oh. They said we're lucky to have got this far, and that is not worth fighting for. The words are written on the wall. Come on and fight back. We'll start it over again. We'll take it right back from the ones we're again. It's time to rise up, even though they left us for dead. This is our last stand. Take a chance now and draw a line in the sand. It's in our hands now. No living with regret. It's time to rise up, even though they left us for dead. This is our last stand.
The following fatal four-way contest is a non-disqualification match. Making his way to the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Roman Reigns.
Here we go. WWE action on the way.
Let's get it started. Four of WWE's absolute best set to square off here in this fatal four-way match.
This match is going to be all about opportunity. It's going to be interesting to see who capitalizes.
I'm looking at these competitors, and I've already picked out my favorite. I saw a lot of fans walking around the arena dressed as their hero, JBL, for tonight for Halloween. I wanted to bet they got all the good candy.
Actually, it was JR they were dressed as.
Wait, that's not Dolph Ziggler's music. It sounds like Chris Jericho has made his return to SmackDown Live to be the fourth man in this matchup. Wait, that's not Chris Jericho. That's Dolph Ziggler imitating him. Trying to copy other superstars' entrances as he's been doing in real life lately.
It's going to be interesting to see what alliances temporarily form in this one. Yeah, temporary is the key word there. Clearly, the SmackDown crowd can't wait for this one to get started.
And here we go. There's the bell. This match is underway. Sami Zayn targeting Dalton Roush, tossing him outside the ring. And taking the fight to the outside. Roman Reigns and Dolph Ziggler battling inside the ring.
Competitors in the ring. No rest, no tags. Life doesn't get any
It's a slam by Sami Zayn. Forces Dalton out. And Zaguri by Zayn.
And the offensive display by Sami Zayn.
Dalton, of course, the team captain of
In a fatal four-way,
Team
some moving parts. What does he need to do to separate
SmackDown Live at Survivor Series.
match won't be easy. There's a lot of hungry talent.
He's had intense rivalries with both Sami Zayn and Dolph Ziggler, but could one of those men possibly be Dalton's choice for the mid-carder that will be fighting for a United States wow, I really can't speak today. United States title opportunity at Survivor Series.
Just toying with
Can't really see a whole lot with the camera angle, but Dalton stomping and kicking away at Sami Zayn.
He lands the strike with great accuracy. He looks a bit off his game.
And a power slam by Dalton. Dalton
Very ugly for him.
getting fired up and taunting the WWE Universe as he loves to do. That may cost him reversal by Sami Zayn.
He might find more success within the ropes. Well, it's hard to argue.
Now Zayn looking for ground elbow strikes, but Dalton's going to turn him over in reverse.
One coming. Oh, out of nowhere. He anticipated
Reversal by Zayn.
perfectly.
Reversal by Dalton.
A textbook reversal. Can he follow up? Reversal. Sami Zayn.
Reversal by Zayn.
He's taking some offense. And you know all three of the superstars he's up against won't back down at any point during this.
Zayn forces Dalton up.
If it's me, I'm focusing my attention
Reversal by Dalton.
inside the ring. All this time on the outside doesn't appear to be doing him any good. It's a good point, John.
And that sit-out powerbomb is going to send the announce team scrambling. Stomp to the chest of Zayn. There's another. We're fighting right next to the announce table.
Roman Reigns unable to be contained.
Dalton working the arm of Zayn. Good technical offense there.
Seems like Ziggler has lost a step. And at this point,
Reversal by Sami Zayn.
from this.
Hard to argue with that.
There's an elbow drop.
Certainly is not on his side. Oh, man. I didn't anticipate this match being as closely contested as it's been.
Reversal by Dalton nearly sends Zayn crashing through the announce table.
Cannot believe.
What a shot to Dolph Ziggler.
Leg drop to the arm of Zayn.
Doctor out here.
Yeah, I think Dolph has been badly hurt. There's only so much a human being can stand.
This is truly
Suplex by Dalton.
to see what Sami Zayn can do. He has to formulate.
As Dalton gets fired up and taunts the WWE Universe once again. Forces Zayn on his stomach, now back on his back.
Focus on staying.
Going after the leg now, really targeting the limbs of Sami Zayn. Good technical offense again being shown. Going back to that leg again, slamming the ankle of Zayn into the mat outside the ring. Zayn avoids the stomp.
Gotta remember what works.
Huge drop kick there by Zayn.
Nobody home there.
Dalton avoids the stomp.
Cole, that looked like the house has been empty for months.
Meanwhile, Reigns in ring with a huge set-up powerbomb to Ziggler. He'll get a 2 count.
Have bore the brunt of the attack.
And I hope we can get a doctor out here as a precaution.
Dalton again going after that arm, bringing it back as far as he can. Standing on the wrist of Zayn and stomping away at it.
That one coming. On the offensive here.
And finally, for the first time since the opening seconds of this match, Dalton and Zayn are going to head back into the ring, but not before a leg drop from Dalton with Zayn's head dangling over the apron. As Ziggler gets tossed to the outside. Dalton's going to bide his time and let Roman attack Sami Zayn. Now he's going to pick up the carcass of Zayn as Roman ushers him into the corner.
He may be in the best.
Snake eyes by Roman to Zayn. They both seem to be oblivious to the fact that Dalton's trying to attack them.
Specific move. Some will return to utilizing that move as long as possible.
Dalton looking for the AA, but reversal by Reigns. That's going to send Dalton tumbling outside. Ziggler out of nowhere with a sleeper hold to Roman Reigns as Dalton and Zayn are laid out outside. And
Refusing to give in there.
that nearly is going to put an end to this match, but Reigns is able to break the hold.
Roman Reigns try to do differently at this stage to stay in this thing. If he's not careful, this can snowball.
Huge DDT by Ziggler.
What a shot. Roman Reigns, he may be done for.
No kidding. Roman Reigns might be out cold after that one.
Elbow drop after elbow drop by Ziggler as Dalton and Sami Zayn make their way back to the ring and turn their attention back to each other. With Sami Zayn getting fired up now.
And that shot was dialed in.
Meanwhile, Ziggler still hitting elbow drops on Roman Reigns, and Zayn's going to again take the fight back outside with Dalton.
Remind everybody, there are no countouts. These competitors can stay.
Dolph Ziggler on the outside now. Someone is busted open. I believe that might be Dalton Roush. Indeed it is.
Back inside now.
Roman Reigns with a great offensive show.
Dalton landing some good strikes on Zayn. Shades of his UFC character. Irish up into the steel post, and Dalton's going to get fired up. That's going to cost him and open up offense for Dolph, who Irish him into the steel post, and Dalton's going to land right on top of Sami Zayn. Dalton is going to get some payback by Irish whipping Ziggler into steel post. Somehow he ends up landing under Sami Zayn. And huge suplex by Dalton. We're starting to clean house now. Dalton's going to be sent back into the ring by Reigns. And Reigns would join him there.
Kind of pain they can inflict out here on the floor.
Sami Zayn showing his skill.
Reigns into the corner. Someone else has been busted open. I believe that man is Dolph Ziggler. Dalton with a knee to the guts of Reigns. looking for a roll-up pin.
I think so.
But Reigns is going to power out at 2. Sami Zayn has made his way into the ring now. Dalton doesn't seem to care.
How much more?
AA to Reigns.
What a move. What
Zayn turn attention back to Dolph Ziggler, who is on all fours.
a... Someone check the mat.
Oh, we could be seeing the fall of the Roman Empire.
Reversal by Reigns, and he goes for a cover.
Here. 2.
Dalton powers out at 2. Sami Zayn back to the ring now.
What a reversal. He
He's
wants
going to
no
go
part
after
of the
Roman
outside.
Reigns.
Well, I don't
Dalton
blame
turns
him.
attention
Nothing
to
good
Dolph
ever
Ziggler, who
happens
moves
outside
way
the
into the
ring.
ring. Looking for a belly-to-belly, but reversal by Ziggler.
Take a look at that. We haven't seen
And Dalton's going to go tumbling outside.
new.
Zayn looking for a pin. He's not quite going to get it. I believe that was a rope break, but it's going to send Ziggler outside right next to Dalton. And Zayn goes for cover.
1, 2.
Reigns powers out at 2. Zayn looking for ground elbow strikes, but Reigns is going to turn him over in reverse. Meanwhile, Dalton and Ziggler just sitting and staring at each other. It's going to be Dalton getting to his feet first. But Ziggler's going to make it back to the ring first as Zayn locks in a submission on Reigns, broken up. Ziggler sent to the outside by Dalton, who it appears is going to go after him, and he'll be joined by Sami Zayn as Roman Reigns is laid out in the ring.
Boy, he was able to reverse and get out of that. Action outside.
Zayn in the ring now. And now back outside is Dalton with a huge power bomb
He's had enough.
into a Boston Crab. Now that's
He's looking very overwhelmed out there.
huge power bomb by Reigns to Ziggler. Zayn looking for ground elbow strikes, not going to get it. Dalton reverses, all 4 men fighting on the outside now.
Damaged ribs like that can make it hard to breathe. How will these guys do with absorbing the punishment they're about to receive out here? It looks like we're going to see what kind of pain they can.
Ziguri by Zayn as Ziggler sitting to the steel post.
Real dangerous out here.
Zayn's going to catch the leg and a blow to Dalton. Zayn yet again looking for ground elbow strikes. This time they'll connect.
How will these guys do with absorbing the punishment they're about to receive out here? He doesn't want to do this outside the ring.
Ziggler has made his way back to the ring, but not for long.
And it's Roman Reigns able to break free.
Stomp to the back of Dalton.
Wow, he's still down after that. Action outside. Oh, out here you have to be able to think on your feet lightning fast. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and you can find yourself in a world of hurt.
Look at Roman Reigns here. Okay, once you get outside the ring, anything can happen.
Yeah, and it usually does. Over the years, I've seen more careers come to an abrupt end outside of the ring than I can remember. This area is so dangerous. He's pulling out all the
Reigns clearing house as Dalton tries to get back to his feet and does. Turns his attention to Dolph Ziggler. Reigns sent back to the ring. He'll be joined by Sami Zayn.
And the boot connects with the abdomen. This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
Oh my, he's wild in there.
Ash up into the corner by Zayn. Meanwhile, Ziggler on the attack
He's in
with Dalton outside.
now.
Huge elbow drop.
Pin. 1, 2.
Zayn going for cover
Before you, your winner, folks.
and
Sami Zayn.
is going to win this matchup. I didn't quite see it there until the end. But Sami Zayn victorious in this fatal 4-way with Roman Reigns taking the fall.
here tonight.
Wow, somehow he made turning back 3 of WWE's top superstars look somewhat easy.
And folks, if you're just joining us, I'm sorry to tell you that you just missed one of the most exciting SmackDown matches in recent memory.
Alright, so Dalton is going to take a no decision. It's going to be Sami Zayn picking up the victory in the Fatal 4-Way. Roman Reigns will take the fall. No decision for Dalton and Dolph Ziggler.
We're on to the next. Sit tight for singles action.
Alright, SmackDown rolls on.
Ambrose versus John Cena.
Dean Ambrose with a victory over John Cena. And Seth Rollins wins a non-title match against AJ Styles. Alright, so let's get you your rankings update for SmackDown Live. Starting with the SmackDown women. Becky Lynch defeated Charlotte. That's a non-title victory, so Becky is going to move up 2 spots to number 5. And that was the only women's match on SmackDown. So your top 5 contenders to Charlotte SmackDown Women's Championship. Number 1, Sasha Banks. Number 2, Tamina. Number 3, Natalya. Number 4, Alexa Bliss. And number 5, Becky Lynch. And now the SmackDown Tag Team Division. The Hardy Boys defeated the Singh Brothers. Singh Brothers fall to number 3. And that was the only tag team match this week. So the top 5 contenders to the Hardy Boys SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Number 1, Ambrose and Rollins. That probably pretty soon will be the Shield if you're following along Raw in real life. The Colognes at number 2, though they'll probably be taken off because they've been inactive for a while now. The Singh Brothers at number 3. Gable and Benjamin are at number 4. The Club at number 5. And now the United States Championship rankings. Mike Kanellis defeated Samoa Joe to become number 1 contender. Joe falls to number 6. Since Dalton took a no decision, he will be moving up to number 5. Jinder Mahal defeated Sin Cara. Mahal is not in these rankings, and Sin Cara remains at the bottom at number 10. Sami Zayn defeated Roman Reigns with no decision for Dalton Roush and Dolph Ziggler. But because Mike Kanellis won as well, Zayn will remain at number 2. Reigns is not in these, or I guess he is in these rankings, but Sin Cara lost as well, so he remains at number 9. Dalton with a no decision remains at number 5, and Dolph Ziggler with a no decision remains at number 7. Dean Ambrose defeated John Cena in a non-title match. Ambrose is champion, and Cena falls to number 4. But Styles lost as well, so Dalton, even though he took a no decision, is actually going to move up 3 spots to number 3. Since Cena, Styles, and Joe all lost, and he only took a no decision. And Seth Rollins defeated AJ Styles. We already moved down Styles, and Rollins is not in these rankings. So your top 5 contenders to the United States Championship held by Dean Ambrose. Number 1, Mike Kanellis. Number 2, Sami Zayn. And number 3, Dalton Roush. Number 4, John Cena. Number 5, AJ Styles. And now the WWE Championship rankings. Jinder Mahal defeated Sin Cara. Mahal was up to number 4. Sin Cara is not in these rankings. Sami Zayn defeated Roman Reigns, Dalton Roush, and Dolph Ziggler, with Reigns taking the fall. Zayn is not in these rankings. Reigns remains at the bottom, number 7. Dalton remains at number 3, and Ziggler remains at number 6, each with no decisions. In your top 5 contenders, and actually Styles lost, so he moves down to number 3. Dean Ambrose defeated him, remains number 1 contender, so Dalton's going to get another spot up because people above him lost, moving up to number 2. And your top 5 contenders to the WWE Championship held by Seth Rollins. Number 1, Dean Ambrose. Number 2, Dalton Roush. Number 3, AJ Styles. Number 4, Jinder Mahal. Number 5, John Cena. So overall, even though he took a no decision, not a bad week for Dalton, who moves up 3 spots in the US Championship rankings and 1 spot in the WWE Championship rankings. And now it's time for NXT. Are we finally going to see Corey in action for the first time in 3 weeks? Titus Worldwide finally getting some action. They're taking on Heavy Machinery. And still, Corey not in action, but Eric Young, who is no longer part of NXT Singles Division, is. Alright, he shouldn't be competing for the NXT Championship. Whatever. I guess if he wins, I'll move him up on the Raw rankings. So, Corey still is going to get a week off. I really miss seeing my own character wrestle. Oy. And your rankings for NXT. Heavy Machinery defeats Titus Worldwide. Mandy Rose, the newest member of NXT's women's division, being demoted from Raw, defeats Naomi. Aleister Black defeats the newest member of NXT's singles division, Wesley Blake, as well as Goldust. And it was Goldust that took the fall. Sanity, the NXT Tag Team Champions, remaining on NXT until they lose their NXT Tag Team Championships, defeats Breezango. Nia Jax defeats Peyton Royce. Ruby Riott defeats NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon. That's a non-title victory. And another non-title match, Cassius Ohno defeats Eric Young of Raw. And still 1/2, or actually 1/3, pretty much, going by the Freebird rules of the NXT Tag Team Champions. Alright, and your NXT rankings update, starting with the NXT women. Mandy Rose defeated Naomi. Rose moves up to number 4, and Naomi falls to number 4, so Mandy Rose moves up 2 spots upon her return to the NXT Women's Division, up to number 3. Nia Jax defeats Peyton Royce. They swap spots, Jax to number 7, Royce to number 8. Ruby Riott defeats Ember Moon. That is a non-title victory, so Ruby Riott becomes number 1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship. And your top 5 contenders to the NXT Women's Championship held by Ember Moon. Number 1, Ruby Riott. Number 2, Sonya Deville. Number 3, Mandy Rose. Number 4, Naomi. And number 5, Carmella. And now the NXT Tag Team rankings. Heavy Machinery defeated Titus Worldwide. Heavy Machinery moves up to number 2. Titus Worldwide falls to number 6. But Breezango lost as well, so Titus Worldwide remains at number 5. Sanity defeated Breezango. Breezango remains at number 6, and Sanity are champions. And your top 5 contenders to NXT Tag Team Championships held by Sanity. Number 1, Street Profits. Number 2, Heavy Machinery. Number 3, Regeneration Era. Number 4, TM61. and number 5, Titus Worldwide. And now the NXT Championship rankings are going to see Corey fall after yet another week off, or will he remain number 1 contender? Oops. Aleister Black defeated Goldust with no decision for Wesley Blake and a triple threat. Black moves up into gold, and that was battle between 15, 16, and 17, it looks like. Black moves up to number 16. Goldust falls to 17, and Blake with a no decision remains at 15. Cassius Ohno defeated Eric Young in non-title action. Young is not in these rankings anymore because he is part of Raw now, and Ohno remains champion. So Corey, despite not wrestling in a month, remains number 1 contender to the NXT Championship. Number 2 is Drew McIntyre. Number 3 is Ty Dillinger. Number 4, Oney Lorcan. Number 5, Roderick Strong. And we are about 2.5 weeks away from NXT TakeOver Houston. As things stand right now, Corey would get a title opportunity against Cassius Ohno. And with just 2 more NXTs left before NXT TakeOver Houston, and if Corey were to defeat Cassius Ohno, he will be part of the main roster on either Raw or SmackDown in Season 4 of WITM and be back in time for Survivor Series, meaning he would be eligible to participate in the Survivor Series match, should he be chosen. Now we move on to main event. And we need replace this random jobber fatal 4-way with our Cruiserweight matchup for main event. So first, let's determine our stipulation. Will it be a singles match? Will it be a tag team match? Will it be a triple threat? Will it be a fatal 4-way? Or will it be a 6-man match? It's going to be a singles match. And now, who are the participants? First is Noam Dar. And his opponent, the newest member of the Cruiserweight division, joining the Cruiserweight division in real life on this past Raw, attacking the Cruiserweight champion Enzo Amore, the high-flying Kalisto, formerly part of the Lucha Dragons. Making his Cruiserweight debut for the Cruiserweight division on main event. Alright, and so we will send this card. Dana Brooke defeated Emma. Noam Dar defeated Kalisto. and Sanity defeated the Hype Bros. And we'll see how those rankings affect the rankings on Raw and 205 Live. Starting with the Raw women. Dana Brooke defeated Emma. Brooke moves up to number 6. Emma remains at the bottom, number 10. And your top 5 contenders to Ember Moon's Raw Women's Championship: number 1 Bayley, number 2 Nikki Bella, number 3 Asuka, number 4 Alicia Fox, and number 5 Liv Morgan. Now the Cruiserweight division. Noam Dar defeated Kalisto. He will move up to number 2. Kalisto falls to number 7. And your top 5 contenders to the Cruiserweight Championship held by Andrew: number 1 Greg Metalik, number 2 Noam Dar, number 3 Akira Tozawa, number 4 Arya Davari, number 5 Lindsay Dorado. And now the Raw Tag Team rankings. Sanity defeated the Hype Bros. They become the number 1 contenders to the Raw Tag Team Championships. The Hype Bros remain at the bottom, number 7. And your top 5 contenders to the Raw Tag Team Championships held by The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus: number 1 Sanity, number 2 Authors of Pain, number 3 Miz Taraj, number 4 Usos, and number 5 The Revival. And while I'm thinking about it, Cesaro and Sheamus' new official tag team name is The Bar. So we'll change it to that. Is it available to be announced? It is not. And there we go. Alright, now it's time for 205 Live. Will we see Cruiserweight Champion Andrew in action? And we will. And he's going to be in the main event in a triple threat matchup, taking on the self-proclaimed king of the Cruiserweights, Neville, as well as Captain Underpants, Drew Gulak. Not his official nickname, of course. That's what Enzo Amore calls him. So that... And are we going to get a response from Andrew as to being attacked from Titus O'Neil last week, or could we potentially hear more about 205 Live side of the conflict between Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live? Stay tuned in episode number 281. Until then, this is Corey, signing off.